Lemonkind. First, laughing face, Lemonkind. Hi. Light_candle. Lemon. Hello. Music. A Brennifer. Hey there everyone. Lemonkind.
Hello, hello.
Hi at a Brennifer, /.
Welcome. Let me get the face cam on. Hello, hello. There's a cactus running around here somewhere, so I'm gonna scoop him up real quick. And while I do that, enjoy the sound of this very noisy candle. The filter's actually doing a pretty good job of filtering that sound, but I might have to blow that out in a second.
Lemonkind.
Oil.
Crackle crackle.
Scooped.
A Brennifer. Lemon.
A large kitty man. Right here. What a sweet little dude. Oh, with his tiny little face. He does some crackling himself. And he was very snuggly last night. He likes to either sit at the very end of the bed or up on the windowsill above my head and just purr his little head off.
Lemonkind. Cactus guy.
Which is very sweet. It's a sweet way for a little guy to be. Oh. Oh boyo. Okay, let's get some tunes going. Why don't we? And we'll get this whole design thing started as well. I think I'm just gonna go back to the regular old DMCA free music because it seems to work out pretty
A
well.
Brennifer. Ooh, I missed cactus.
You'll have to go back and check it out or redeem the Where's Atticus feature at some point. Also, I cut my hair. It's a little shorter. At least the sides I pretty much took care of, which is very nice. It's a lot of weight off of my poor little head.
You look good.
Thank you. I was looking for some Cassette Beast specific ambiance, but it doesn't seem like that's an option. So let's get into it here. I think at this point there's a non-zero chance that I might just go through and end up kind of mapping out or designing all of the Cassette Beasts at one point or another. So I think I'm just gonna kind of start going down the list here. I'm definitely getting a little bit more ambitious with like what designs I want to do and how I want to do them. So this creature has a decent bit going on geometrically. He's got his little mask thing. He's got his wings that are like patched up on the sides. Here, let me just go ahead and add the image over here so that we can all see it a little bit better. There's our tiny little boy in the corner. Okay, here's our dude. This is a weirdly blurry image. I'd like something higher quality, but sometimes with pixel art, the blur actually kind of helps to like bring some extra, I don't know, je ne sais quoi out of it. So let's go ahead and start working on this guy. I think the way I want to do this is figure out kind of the general body plan and then go from there to the wings and the boots and the mask shape and all of that. And to help me out here, I actually learned a new tool just recently. Let's go ahead and start by making the body here.
Hi,
Welcome, Gigantor. So for the body, it's just kind of like a cylinder sort of deal. So I might actually want to go, no, I'll do it from this plane so that I can get the height kind of where I want it. I'm going to say roughly like there is going to be good. And then he will have the belt eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit here to represent that belt. We won't worry too much about like rounding off the shoulders or anything like that just yet, because as you can see in the image there, I think the head is going to pretty much take care of that for us. It's going to cover everything.
Gigantier 56. Hi at Lemonkind. At a Brennifer.
So we're just starting with this cylindrical body here. And then I'm gonna try out
Lemonkind. Hi at Gigantier 56.
the new tool I've been working with
a Brennifer.
to
Hi
get these
Gigantier.
arms. So from this front plane, I'm gonna create a sketch. And this is gonna be the arc that the arm kind of follows.
Lemonkind.
Seems to be something like this.
I have a random question for you, Light.
Go for it. What is it? We'll go out to like there, and I think that's a pretty good angle. I actually want it to not be totally normal.
How did you meet House of Cats people?
I think we started talking on like Reddit originally, because I was just trying to get to know like other people who were starting out streaming around the same time as me. But that reminds me, thank you to the folks who were able to stop by for that stream.
Oh, nice.
Because it was a good time. It was really fun playing with them, and it's cool to me
Lemon
that they,
That was cool.
yeah, that they have this thing that they wanted to celebrate, and that they
Lemonkind.
celebrated it by
They seem to be streaming for a long time.
hanging out with people. Yeah, they normally don't stream for that long, but they were doing like a 12-hour celebration. So this is the thing that I can do now. I can create like a two-dimensional image, and I can create an arc that I want it to follow, and use that to just like make the shape. I am going to take this part and mirror it over as well once the time comes, but for now I'm gonna ignore that.
Icky and Fritz are nice.
Yeah, so the House of Cats is Icky and Fritz, and then Jello, who I haven't seen stream solo quite as often. But yeah, they're all really cool people. Let's see what we want to do with this hand over here. The wings themselves are going to be super easy because it's really just like a very thin membrane. The hand seems kind of like just a rectangle off of this wrist going up this direction.
Reminds me of Bronzong right now.
Yeah, if we just made another one of these and kind of left the design there, you've already got a Pokemon. I have thought a little bit about designing some Pokemon on stream, but a lot of those designs are just, I don't know, not as endearing to me as the Cassette Beast designs. So this is generally what that's going to look like. Let's extend this out a little bit this direction. I'll expand this a tiny bit, and then I'm looking at those two fingers that are kind of curled down. And I think I know a pretty good way to make those. The question is just kind of how awkward it's going to be. So let's make this extrude out symmetrically. About yay far. I will hopefully take the back of this and... Oh, okay. Here, what I can do is make this actually a new part in the extrusion so that I can do this without it worrying about where it really connects to that wrist. Can give the back of the hand some curvature. And then on the front, I kind of want to like carve out these couple of fingers. And it is weird doing this at this angle. Oh yeah, in fact, this piece is not going to like that. But I can do something like that to create just some differentiation between the fingers. I'll kind of carve them inward this way, and then I'll use this to separate them out from the side. I don't need it to go all the way through the palm though. That would be a little bit grotesque. We'll have it go that far through. And then from this very goofy angle, we'll create another sketch. And here's where I can decide like where the fingers actually come from. So I'm gonna say from here on over we can get rid of, and then like here up we can get rid of. And this is gonna be pretty rough, I'm warning ya. Let's see what this looks like when we round things out a little bit. It's gonna be angry about it. Can I select this whole thing and tell it to round it out? Not by that measure. How about 0.1? That's still too much. I might be overthinking what's going on with this hand. What if I
Lemonkind.
just round out these
BRB.
bits? Cool. I think I need to make these digits a little bit longer, but actually that's... From out here, I think when we've got everything else done, and I remove the shading, that's not gonna look too terrible. That looks kinda vaguely hand-like. I will change this sketch real quick so that I can make these digits just a little bit longer. See, I think this point is the one that I need to remove the constraint from. Yeah, you're no longer at the midpoint, so I can drag this down. That looks better to me. Okay, so we'll be copying this over to the other side, and then we'll be doing the wings as well. Actually, let me do... Well, no, the wings aren't actually symmetrical, so I'll copy this over before we do anything with the wings. So we've got both our arms going across. Should do something with the torso here, because we'll have one leg kind of coming straight down, one leg actually coming kind of forward and down. So figuring out how to make that shape is going to be tricky. Let's see about making this pattern on the torso as well. Because he's got like this little white shape going on the torso. Let me create a rectangle just to kind of help guide me here. Shape's gonna go up and over. And then it's also gonna have these two bits that kind of arc up kind of into the armpits. So I think I actually want this to be lower. And most of this is also going to get covered by the belt buckle, so I don't have to worry too much about that. I'm just gonna mirror these things over. And that's pretty much all we can see of that. So I'm gonna take this sketch and let's start by removing just from the front here. what's going to be the best way to do this? I guess I could just extrude this same shape up and forward as a new piece. But I also want it to like curve around the same way. So what I might have to do is create a new sketch from this top face. And I've got that kind of ring going on there now. So I can say, I want this to be removed from this piece specifically. Okay, so that gives us another part that I can make a different color on that front face, and I think I might do something similar with the head eventually. Let's get that belt on there. That was, I think, my very first sketch here. Yep. Let's revolve this around that central axis. Create a new piece with it. And then we want to offset. Oh, nope. We want to offset this plane. Bring it as close to flush with this surface as we can. And now I can use this new plane to sketch out the belt buckle, which I'm finding it difficult to like parse out the shape for. It's just kind of a shape. And I don't think there's really anything useful in like the game data about it. It's related to Spring Heel Jack. Like that's kind of what I guess the reference is to. But I don't know that story well enough to make heads or tails of it. So let's just make kind of a placeholder here for now. We'll have the belt buckle. Kind of something like that. It's got some sort of border to it. Maybe we'll give it like a bat pattern. That seems appropriate for this boy. So let's just bust out a bat real quick. Oh, I'm gonna need to scale all of this up. Here, let's do this with the whole thing in mind. And I'm gonna start out with kind of the bat wing here. So I think that'll help all of this remain cohesive. Do something kind of stylized. Let's get a little bat head on there. Little bat ears. And let's mirror that all over. Okay. I'm pretty content with that being the the logo for this boy. Let's take all of this and pull it forward. Far enough that it goes through the belt itself.
A Brennifer. It's perfect, Lil Bat.
It's a little bat friend. And then I want this to remain visible so that I can extrude out now this shape just a little bit farther, and also the outer circle. Okay. One thing that I could start doing is some recoloring. So I want this part up here, and this part, and this part.
Gobble gobble one of US.
Welcome, Mickey. And congrats again on the 200 followers. We were just talking about how fun that celebration was. Let me edit the appearance of this part. This should be pretty much white.
ICKY24. Thanks so much.
This part here should be brown. And then the logo here we can make gold. Boy, I would love to not have so much geometry around these corners to select, but
ICKY24.
I did that to myself.
Hey Brennifer, how goes it?
Okay. I'm selecting some random lines as well by accident, which is fine. That shouldn't hurt our product.
Good.
Okay, all of that selected. Let's go ahead and get that as well. And let's go for this outer ring too.
ICKY24. I'm glad you had a good time. Tobicus is my out there homie, lol. A Brennifer. Supposed to rain in Denver this evening.
I was genuinely curious to see if he was gonna have... Oh no, I didn't want to edit the appearance for the part. Are you gonna make me select all of that again? Oh. You know, we're just doing this front face and this and these for now. Okay, add appearance to those faces. That's better. Okay. So we've got a little logo thing there. I was genuinely curious if he was going to have an
I think it's his
explanation.
persona being an alien.
Okay, a little bit of
Stream
roleplay.
elements.
That's fine.
Enjoying the stream? Don't forget to follow to catch me later. Subscribe if you are into that kind of
What
thing.
other... Okay, I had that sketch still visible. So I've got the torso. This guy's going to have a big ol' head on top of him. And he's going to have some leggies. And of course, like, the wings are, I think, the thing that's going to tie this whole thing together. But let's see about ye old legs. I'm going to try using that same method I used before. Oh, actually, I want to try and offset this, like, into the body a little bit. No, I'll do it from here, and then we'll fix some things later. So I'm creating a new sketch from this base, where this is going to be one leg, and the other leg I'm going to have to pull, like, forward, so we'll see how that works, but I'll put that there initially. That's all we need for that sketch, is now I can go down to the front plane here, and I can sketch out kind of the path I want this leggy to follow, which is going to be sort of out and over, and then down from there. Now, I can use the sweep. I can select this. I can sweep it along this path. And that's a leggy, if I've ever seen one. I'm gonna like round out the base here because the legs merge into the body a lot more sensibly than what I've got right now. That's one grade A leg. Fresh, never frozen. This other leg is gonna be kind of tricky. What I'd like to do, I think, is offset this plane here. And I want it to be offset to just go directly through the center of this circle. We'll see if it's amenable to that because it's not super precise.
Shakespeare cat.
Yeah, he's a little bat-like friend. These guys you run into a lot in the game, and they're kind of like, you know, the Team Rocket kind of critters.
ICKY24. You put up Shakespeare cat on the wall.
Yes, that's behind me. Yep. A little gray one.
ICKY24.
Look at a leg going out here.
LOL.
And then kind of curving back a little bit. Get us a little knee there. And this leg is kind of up off of the ground, so let's see if it allows me to do this sweep.
ICKY24. Show a little leg.
It actually worked out pretty well there. And I wonder if I say that this is a new piece, I could probably like rotate it a little bit off the base. But I think that's going to be pretty good. Let me now take this base and hide it a little bit. I want to be sketching on this front plane. It's weird that the actual base here is not showing itself, but I think this is going to be fine. Can go to the middle here, bring that up, bring this over, and what I ought to be able to do is just take this piece and revolve it about the center. Give him just a little torso there. It's a small difference, but I think it does make a difference, having it not just be flat.
56. What was it that you said you learned new about this software?
The sweep feature. So what that lets me do is create just one sketch on one plane and a path that I want it to follow, and then kind of pull it along that path. So it's another kind of more advanced way to make a two-dimensional feature into a three-dimensional feature.
56. Interesting.
Yeah, it's been a pretty valuable tool so far. Let's see about giving this guy some boots. Why don't we? And for that, we're gonna start with like the boot leg, and then we'll work our way towards like the laces and the actual foot section. But I think let's just see how this looks if I take this and pull it up the leg, have it be a new piece. Of course I can change the color of that later, and then let's create a sketch on this plane where we kind of make what we want the front of the boot to look like. Again, I would love to be able to reference this geometry inside of the sketch. And let's set these points to be coincident. Let's make the curve of this boot a little bit more aggressive. I think that's going to be pretty good. And then we'll extrude out this whole shape forward. We're going to add it to this. These are pretty large boots. I think probably right around there is fine. We'll give it a little fillet. What part of this are you upset about, my friend? Don't want that. Let's change the color on this boot. It's not too bad overall. And then we've got another boot to add on here. And this boot is kind of curved like upward in a kicking motion. Oh, I guess I also wanted to what else did I want to do? I wanted to add kind of a V cut out here on the front. Kind of where the laces would go. And this is going to be super simple. I just create that shape. I say we're extruding, removing in this direction from this object. And then just more of that. Let's create another boot. This is going to be tricky because the leg tilts so far forward, but I'm going to just kind of try and do the same thing, and we'll see if it complains at me about it. This is a new part. You know, I might actually want to... Hold up a second. Where is... Okay, this is where I did the sweep. Let's go ahead and just follow that sweep again. So we're sweeping this shape. We're following this path. And this is a new piece. So that pretty much gives us the boot. I'm going to be able to cut it off wherever I want to. And then, how do we want to go about the foot part of the boot? I do kind of like the boot being taller, kind of cowboy style. Here, I think this is the route we'll go for the foot of the boot. In fact, this might have been a more sensible way to go about it with the other boot as well. But c'est la vie. cut these pieces out. Let's extrude this upward, adding to this shape. That's about boot height. Definitely a little bit awkward on the back section there, but we can mess with that a little bit. Okay, it didn't like becoming that boot-like. Is it because of this back one? If I say ignore those, then it's just going to take issue somewhere else. So let's get rid of this top piece. Still not awful as far as boots go. In fact, I kind of like this heel shape, so I might... Yeah, let me go back and do the same thing with this other boot.
Lemonkind. Have you seen Barbie or Oppenheimer?
I have not seen either of them yet.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah, I want to see Barbenheimer. It seems like a very cool experience from what I've heard. Okay, let's bring this out the length that we want to.
I've heard Barbie is good.
Yeah, me too. Okay, can I make this tangent to this? There we go. That's what we want to see. Bring that across there.
Hi.
Hello, Jello. Welcome. We are
Jello.
designing some more beasts.
How's the modeling going?
It's going pretty well. This is what I've got so far of this boy. I realized
Lemonkind.
that I like this
Hi at Grizzly
boot
Jello.
design better.
A Brennifer. Hi,
so
Jello.
I'm remaking
Grizzly
this.
Jello. Aw, the body looks cute.
Thank you. We're merging with that part.
Grizzly Jello.
Bringing this forward.
Hi, Lemon. Hi, a Brennifer. Game Flub Dojo. Yo. I do like that new boot design.
Hey, welcome Game Flub Dojo. Is that the name you prefer to go by?
Armani saw Barbie and said it was good. I just don't know.
What do you not know about? I mean, I guess there's one way to find out, right?
Lemonkind. You're skeptical of Brennifer? Grizzly Jello.
Yeah, that's a good boot.
I've heard only good things about Barbie. A Brennifer. I dislike Barbie.
I don't think that it's a like stereotypical Barbie movie. From what I've heard and what I've seen of Margot Robbie's work in general, I expect it to be kind of a commentary on Barbie.
Game Flub Dojo. People call me Dean, Flub, Dojo. I'm fine with any variant really.
Cool, sounds good.
Lemonkind. Barbie hater. Lemonkind. Haha, just joking. A Brennifer.
I want to
ha ha ha.
Get rid of the top part of this boot. So we're gonna go like this. There we go. That's all we need to do. Now let me cut out a box here. Let me bring a couple of lines down here. Kind of roughly, but I kind of like the idea of having it be a rough design, or a rough cut on the boot. We're removing this direction, just from the boot.
Lemonkind.
And then...
Looks like a comment box.
It kind of did, yeah. A little comic book speech bubble. Okay, we've got his two leggies. we've got his arms, his hands. Next comes the potentially the toughest part of this, which is this weird bean-shaped head. So how do I want to go about that? I feel like my best bet might be kind of let's start from this face, one step at a time. Here's our like midpoint of the face. I'm gonna create like some goofy arcs about here, because we've got kind of a softer turn to the chin here. His head really, I mean, his chin really does rest like right above that symbol, so that's probably good placement for that. And then the top of his head is a lot more bean-shaped. Probably taller than that even. I think that's probably a good place to start. Let me see just what this looks like when I revolve it. That's probably about... Well, no, I mean his head should be much bigger on this body. I think the ratio I've got between the arms and the torso is pretty good, but this definitely needs to be scaled up. Yeah, kind of more like that. Maybe a little bit taller. Oh boy, this thing is freaking out a little bit. But in its defense, I am asking it to do a bunch of extra math. Here, let me just scrap all of this. We're gonna restart now that I have a better idea of what I'm trying to do. So we'll go from like right about there up to, yeah, I mean like well over where the arms are. So from down here to the cheeks, we want something like that. Then kind of the middle curve of the face and the top. I think that's gonna be pretty good, and I mean it's gonna look a lot better once we have the ears and such on here. It'll look less oniony. Let's make this top piece not quite so aggressive. I think if I bring this down over, which it's not letting me do, I want this to be a perpendicular connection. I want that to be a right angle. I guess I just need to look at this head a little bit longer, and eventually it'll make some more sense to me. He's got a lot more forehead than I really gave him credit for. And the head is kind of thinner. Thinner than it is tall. So here, let's get rid of this little turnip head. We're just going to start over on those again. So I definitely want this piece to be kind of wide, because this represents like his cheeks. But then something like that I think would be good. Let's just take this as a starting point. I can always go back and tweak things a little bit more if I want to. And how do I want to go about these ears? I could create just kind of a general shape from this front plane. But they're really not coming from the front, they're a little bit further back on the head. And I could have it extrude further back. Oh, actually, I kind of have an idea. I think, what if I set up like a thin shape like this, and then I actually have it go back and into the skull using another sweep. Let's offset this plane. And let me know if that candle ever gets to be too noisy. I really would like to be able to take a plane like at an angle. So actually here, let me go back into this sketch. Let me draw just where I would want that divide to be. So that I can make something across that direction. This is hopefully going to make more sense in just a second here. What I want to do is extrude maybe like just this part out. Tiny bit. So that I've got a little flat plane in that direction. Now I can take that little flat plane and I can create the path that I want the ear to follow. So I can say from here, I want it to go kind of back into the head that direction. And now I'd like to pull this sketch back up. I want to create an offset from these three. It would help if I was in the sketch for that. So offset from these, inward. And now I can say I want a sweep of this whole thing along this path. And that actually gives me a pretty decent ear. I'm pretty happy with that. Like, it of course could be better, but everything I do could be better. We're making kind of, I guess, the like Funko Pop version of this creature at this point.
Cutie.
Yeah, we'll have to see if there's a better alternative at some point, but I think that's a pretty good ear. And I can make this kind of section right up here on the head, the color that I want.
Ear.
Ah, I hate it when I try to select one thing and it selects everything. So I could like edit the appearance of that to be this white color. And of course it's not like exactly the way the ears are set up. But I can get more specific later. This is a good proof of concept. Let's do the mask situation the same way that I set this up initially. I'm going to create a sketch from this front face. The mask kind of goes like up to the ears. Meets down in the middle. The little kind of furrowed brow thing. But it doesn't go quite to the ear. Like it ends up there, which is interesting. And then it comes down to the mouth here in the center. So I want to take all of that and mirror it. And this is where the fact that I did this using a revolution is going to come in handy. Because I can remove this shape up this direction. And then I can extrude from this forward out a decent ways a new piece. Like so. It is kind of fun having those eyebrows like just out there. But where is the revolution I actually did for the face? Wasn't Revolve 3. Here it is, Revolve 4. Okay. So this is my sketch. I'm going to create just an extra arc around the outside here. Nothing to this arc except for the fact that it needs to be larger than the arc that I had previously. Because I'm going to be able to go in here and say I want to revolve this around that central axis, and I want to use it to remove from this piece. Are we good with that? Revolve would create self-intersecting part. Are you sure about that? Are we talking about the same edge here that we're trying to revolve around?
Stream elements. Join my Discord. https://discord.gg/snitchfucky.
So it's not liking something about this. Let me mess around with this a little bit more. So from this sketch.
Lemonkind. LOL, the Discord thing changed. Stream elements.
Oh, interesting.
Join Light Candle's Discord server. https://discord.gg/janeskxawim.
I think both of those ought to lead to the same place. If you want to try and test it out, I'd be curious to see if it works. Okay, now let's see if I can get this to do what I want it to. So I want to revolve and remove this around this axis.
Both work.
Okay, good. Oh, that's goofy. It's just not getting rid of those two little pieces out there. So what I need to do is just go back into the sketch that I was using here. I just need to make this go out a little bit further. There we go. So now we've got that shape on there. Kind of looks like the Mandalorian a little bit right now. It's interesting that both of those work. I am pleasantly surprised. Let's give this boy some eyes, why don't we? He's got some beady yellow eyes. Pretty large on the face. Kind of right around there-ish. I'm going to make one of them, and then I'm going to pull the other one out as well. And I'm going to do something similar to make this eye make more sense. That's even like a pretty good color for it. The sketch for the revolve is going to continue to be useful to us. Because now what I want is just a very thin extra layer here. Further out, like so. And I'm going to need to fix this revolve that I just did, because I want it to include that as well to get rid of it. But now for this next piece, I'm going to revolve just this little extra bit around this axis. Use that to remove Oh, never mind. Actually, I don't want to select this. I want to select this. And I want to make that this sketch just a little bit thinner. Where is the sketch I'm looking for? Okay, there we go. So instead of 0.18, let's go to 0.1. Something about this is no longer complete. Hold up. Where are things not lining up? Is it up here? Is it down here? Okay, this is treating itself like a separate thing now, so that's good. This still doesn't seem to be cooperating. Getting warmer. I'm just gonna keep tweaking the whole head shape by hand until we get there. Now that's good, but it doesn't like this anymore. This is the problem with going back and rewriting history. It's one of the problems with going back and rewriting history. Okay, you know what? That's a good compromise. We've got our eye in there. We've got our little mask piece. Let's give this guy a goofy little mouth. This, I should be able to... Well, I'll mirror that and the ear across in a little bit here. But for the mouth, I actually want to offset this front plane. I'm setting it just in front of the face, so I can create a sketch from this new plane, give it the shape I want the mouth to have. He's got a very goofy little mouth. He's got like 2 teeth. But the mouth goes out to what's going to be about eye level. Go ahead and do the same thing over here. Let's say that these need to be equal to each other. And this I'm going to remove just a tiny bit of, like so. Oh no. Let's yeah, just undo that. Added appearance to the face. That's better. It's gonna be his little mouth on the front of him. Now, right now he only has half a face, which isn't great. I would like to just kind of mirror the ear, but if I have to mirror the whole face, so be it. Oh no. Oh, we've created an eldritch abomination with too many legs. Okay, so I do need to make that ear a separate piece to avoid this mishap.
Haha.
So that was this sweep that I did here. We're setting that to be a new piece. And now I can go through and mirror those two pieces. Just the ear and the eye. About this plane. I'm going to create a sketch just on his two furs. It's going to be super simple. It's just going to be like a line down the center here, just to represent the divide in his teeth. Maybe I should actually extrude that a little bit. Let's remove that just a tiny bit. Oh, I didn't actually want to remove quite that much. I just want a tiny bit removed so that I can justify. Oh, I guess it's gonna change the color inherently, but then I can come in here and I can change it back. I just want this to be like grayish. Let's, while we're at it, edit the appearance for this, make it that lighter color. The ears can go back to being the darker color, the blue that we've been working with. And I think it's time to give this boy some wings. Let's hide this plane. So we just have the front plane here. Now we've saved like the easiest part of this for last. He's a pretty good friend. Both of these wings are cut differently, so that's going to be kind of nice. We get to be a little bit rough with it. This goes out to like here. I don't really need to be like super precious with it, but I do like the cut of these wings. In some spots it's a little bit rougher but that'll pretty much go into the body there. I'm gonna, yeah, extend that out that way just to make sure the armpit is covered. And then this other wing, similarly, we can kind of follow up the arm. If you look closely, he's actually like holding the ends of the wings in his little hands, which is really cute. And we don't see much of the rest of that wing, so I can kind of ad-lib it a bit. And there's one other kind of interesting thing going on here, which is the cut in this wing. Just like so. So I'm going to extrude those as two different pieces, and then we'll actually connect them together. That's going to be pretty good. And up here, just directly on this face, got a couple of pieces of tape going across that are holding that wing in place. Both of these are new, symmetric. Just going a little bit up there. Okay, let me edit the appearance for those three parts. Make it that same brown material. Let's edit the appearance for those two parts, because I want it to be kind of clear like that. That's some pretty good tape, if I do say so myself. And I think that is identifiably spring heel.
A Brennifer.
I like that.
That looks awesome. Gigantier
Yeah.
56. Pieces of tape? That's funny. Lemon kind.
I'm curious
Looks good.
what this will look like without the edge shading.
A Brennifer.
You know what? That's not too bad.
He's so cute.
He's just a little guy.
ICKY24. Well done.
Thank you. I think the next creature in this line that I want to do, there's Snoopin here, which is very good. I like his top hat. I like his monocle. I like how just kind of geometric he is. And there's also Scampire.
Yep. Well done.
So I think we could probably get
Snoopin looks cool.
all three of those done. Yeah, some of the creatures here are just real goofy little guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and save a PNG of this boy, so I can put him up here. And then let's create our next boy. I was considering with this one, by the way, doing an assembly, which would involve like creating all of these different pieces kind of separately and then fitting them together. I think for some things like the eyes, that would make a lot of sense and make things work better. But for other things, not so much. Here, I want to start with this top hat. Whether or not it's like the best place to start is up to each individual, but it's the place I want to start. That kind of curves in there. Comes out to this long, like almost flat brim. One thing I've learned through practicing design is just how rarely something is actually like a flat line. Most of the time, I'm actually using like a very gentle curve to set it up. And I'll have the hat be hollow-ish. Have it function like a real hat. Oh, and actually, let me save myself a little bit of work here. I can make 3, or I guess really just 2 curves here. And as long as they're slightly different from each other, I'm going to be able to just recolor that bit super simply. That's looking like a pretty good hat. So now, yeah, I can just go in here. Well, let's edit the appearance for the whole thing. And then I can just edit the appearance for this face to make it the red color that I want. The hat should be taller. That's pretty good. Underneath this hat, we've got a goofy little face that's pretty much just a circle. Now where's the center of that circle? Maybe like there-ish? I'm trying to see like where the proportions would be. I think that's gonna be fine. Of course, I don't want any of this face showing up around the hat on the outside here. So I'm gonna kind of have the face cut down that way. Now I should be able to just take this, revolve it around here. And that looks like about the right size for a Snoopin' face. This is a new part. Let's actually set it to be the same part. I want to get better at my like 3D printing etiquette. In which case I'd want this to really be all the same part. I would just want to change the color of that one particular face. We'll get some features on that head, but for now I want to create this kind of cape thing that's going on around behind him there. And this I do think I'm gonna have to do as a separate piece just to make it make sense. This is gonna be pretty thin here. I don't know like how far down his back it's gonna go. Although really, realistically, it doesn't continue to curve that harshly all the way down. So I think I'm better off having something like this. That's eventually going to meet up with like the body of this cape. It's kind of, I guess, robe more than anything. I like the little heart pattern that he has on his chest as well. And this does go out pretty much as far as the hat. In fact, a little bit further than it. So let me see about just revolving this real quick. Oh, I need an axis. Around which to revolve. So there we go. And this is why I need to do this as a new part, because as it stands, that's going all the way around his head. And I actually just want it kind of around this back section here. So let me create a sketch from this face. Yeah, let's cut it like from there out. Let's extrude and remove this from this part here, not part 1 at all. So that'll be the back bit. And we do want it to meet up with the rest of the robe here. Thinking about proportions, the rest of his body is going to go like roughly this low, I think. Let's get a rough sketch of what we want this robe to look like. And I think I'm gonna want to do this with like a... I'm torn. I think I'm gonna want to do a pure rectangle and then do some extruded like cuts out of it. I think that's gonna be the most sensible thing. So that'll come down there. It then, like near the bottom, drapes like up. There's a bit of a cut out of it, and then goes like back in toward the middle. And I guess it does get like wider as it goes lower down. I don't know why these sketches have been so resistant to being moved sometimes. I think that kind of feels better. We'll have his arms like going down behind him and all that fun stuff. What does it look like if I mirror all of this now? let's fix that a little bit. Thinking that's pretty okay for most of the robe section. So let's go ahead and take that and extrude it out symmetrically. Yeah, and we want to add it to that piece, so that's perfect. We're going to like round off the front of this, and of course the back as well. I feel like a fillet is not going to work out very nicely at all, so we're just going to do this with a little sketchy sketch. I guess I could use this to round out the sides as well, so let's think about how we want to do that. Because I can do something like that, and I can do the same thing on the other side here, but then I also want to make sure that these sides are well rounded. I guess we could fillet these together, fillet them together. So that would be kind of the body shape. Oh, and I would want this to really start cutting lower down. Merge scope just with this part, actually, not with part 1. And we're just doing the intersection of these things. That looks pretty good for a body shape. I do want to make sure that this survives up here. So let's actually take this extrusion. Oh, see, I've cut that extrusion too low now.
Stream elements. Watch my design VODs on YouTube. youtube.com/@lightcandle/videos.
See, what I want to be able to do is actually have this revolution happen later. Maybe I just need to say that this is a new part, and this revolution is actually adding to this part. And then this extrusion is merging with this. I'm psyching myself out here. Here, I need to undo some of the goofy changes that I did here. Because ultimately, I do like what this did to that piece. I think just what I need to do is say, actually, this thing is new. And this here is merging with this new part. I think that's going to be kind of the best option that I've got. That gives us kind of the general robe shape. We'll cut out the heart piece in a little bit here, but I can edit both of these parts to have that color we're looking for. Yeah, this needs to be more cohesive in the back. Well, I guess it's not going to add bits back there that weren't there already. Okay, that looks better. And let me round out those corners to make it make more sense. Still not perfect, but it's not going to be perfect. Let's create a sketch from this front face here, and this is where we're going to get that kind of vaguely heart pattern going on. Pretty sharp there. This needs to be brought down a little bit. This needs to be softened. Here, let me set these to be tangent, these to be tangent. Yeah, I mean, that is probably just about how that's gonna go. Let's go ahead and mirror these things across. I do actually want this line to be quite a bit sharper. And so the method that I've used in the past to take care of some of these things might be a little bit difficult here. I'm gonna try something though. I'm gonna remove all of that. I'm going to extrude this back out as a new piece. And I'm going to take all three of these features and I want to move them back to before we cut out that shape. So that now I ought to be able to go to this extrusion and say we're merging with part 3 and with this part here. And there we go. It actually successfully cut it out. I want to get some of the features on this face because right now it's just kind of spooking me not having any of those facial features. So we've got one eye kind of closed here conspiratorially. Nope, I didn't want a full arc there. So we've got that, and we've got this very wide, spooky mouth going on. So it's going kind of across like so. I'm not super worried about this corner because it's going to be covered by that giant monocle. And this actually isn't a perfect arc, as we've seen before. It's got kind of a bottom to it there. So let's trim that out. And then he does actually have kind of some lip action going on. Just a little bit like that. And some teeth that seem to be made to be the same color as the lips there. So these I'll be able to kind of carve out. Trying to keep things like somewhat uniform across the sides, and then along the bottom we've just got a couple of teeth. That are pretty much set in the corners. So now I can just trim these lines here to make that all the same stuff. I think that's going to be pretty good. We won't know until we know though. So I'm going to do something similar to what I did with the shape on the front, where I'm going to start by removing these all the way out. Oh, look at that. That's pretty fun. I actually also want to remove this base piece here. I wonder, can I just... I want to make some of these features invisible. So let's make that invisible for a second while I work with this sketch. Because really this extrusion should also include that inside shape. Yeah. Okay, good. So the whole mouth has been taken care of here. Now we're going to bring it all forward. So this shape here gets extruded forward as a new piece. Just kind of that far, roughly. This is also going to get extruded forward as a new piece. And it's okay if it like goes out quite a ways, because we're going to eventually have everything flush to this face again. And then this is also going to come out as a new piece. Okay. Very goofy looking right at this moment. However, it's going to become a lot less goofy when I go back to this sketch here and do a little thing. Pulling this out, maybe not quite that far. We really just need like an extra kind of little thin layer there. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think we need that at all. I think this is going to be fine, because what I want to do is revolve using this sketch region, and I want just what's going to intersect with that about this axis merging with this piece, and this piece. Now those features are flat against the shape. Okay. I'm teaching myself new, better ways to do these things as I go. This part here, we'll hold up. Parts 5 and 6 are both going to be pretty much black. I guess I could use that kind of darker gray color I've been using. And then this part here is going to be like basically white. And we are kind of seeing him with his head tilted forward a little bit, which I'm simulating just by tilting the whole boy all at once. Let's get him his monocle. I want this plane to be, yeah, pretty much right in front of his face there. And it's not perfectly circular, this monocle. That's, I was gonna say maybe a bit excessive, but that's honestly pretty much the size we're looking for. The only issue is I actually want it in front of that, I want it in front of the cap as well, which I didn't realize until now. Oh, let's actually just offset this inward a tiny bit to make that make more sense. Okay, the reason I wasn't too concerned about continuing that is that I can actually just move this whole plane forward, and moving that plane is going to move the sketch as well. I know that people have like modded in different kinds of materials to Onshape. I might have to do that at some point because I like the idea of having just a whole bunch of like light sources and things like that for me to use. That's going to be a pretty good color for the lens of the monocle. So then we've got his arms kind of behind him here, and we've got his little cane and his little leggies. And the leggies are actually like very simple on this design. Not too bad at all. I think I want to start the arms here and have it kind of work its way down and back from there. So it's convenient that these are, I was gonna say that's flat, but no, it's actually not, so it won't let me do the thing that I want to do. Let me think about how I want this set up. I can create the shoulder that I want from this front plane. So I can say kind of shoulder thing goes here. And the arm is going to go like down and back this way from there. So I can set myself up with a nice super secret flat plane right here to work off of. So I can take all of this and extrude symmetrically and actually add to this piece. Like so. I will eventually round that out, but for now I want to use this little bit of shoulder that I have here to create the sketch that's going to determine the angle of this arm. It's going pretty much behind him and down that way. But I maybe want some more like joint action to it. So maybe from here down it goes that way, and then from here down kind of goes that way. I think that's gonna make more sense. And then I create a sketch down here to represent what I actually want the arm itself to look like. I'm going to start that out as just a circle. But let's sweep this bad boy along this path. And that's a pretty good arm, all things considered. Okay. His other arm is like totally hidden. We can assume it's doing something similar. I think it's just ending up a little bit further behind the back here. So I'm just gonna need the shoulder cut that I'm using to be a little bit more angled. I want to see if I can save myself some work here, so I'm gonna mirror this shoulder. I've decided is no longer a part of the same piece. It's now a new piece. And the sweep here is also going to be a new piece. It's not liking this sketch for whatever reason, but it's still letting that piece exist, so I won't look at it too closely. This is getting mirrored along this way. So now all I have to do is cut a chunk out from this perspective that's at the new angle I want. And I'm fine with that being there because, well, because I'm lazy, but also because I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference. This arm will come down similar to the other. I hope I've got these roughly the same length and such. And I wonder what happens if I just sweep this whole base piece here along this path. It doesn't like that, which is fair, because I don't really like it either. But I can do something like that. And I can definitely, probably, sweep that across this path. Yep, that's looking good. I suppose I could give him some sort of, like, hands here, but we don't really see hands. So I'm just gonna have these, like, hook up directly into the staff that he's holding back here. And it's pure coincidence that these things lined up as well as they did. But it's very helpful for me because it means that I can set this up across here and just have it work. And he's got a gem that's hanging out on one side of this. Looks to be maybe hexagonal. I think chamfering that a very small amount right now. What does a 0.1 chamfer look like? Okay. That's probably good along the top. Let's make that a 0.75. That feels pretty good. And then along the bottom here, I'm going to do a two-directional chamfer. And really, I guess I should say I just want these sides so that the middle doesn't get muddled. 0.5 one direction, 1 the other direction. And let's switch which ones we're talking about here. Can we go 0.75 this direction? Okay, that's cutting it pretty close to the center there. Let's go like 2 the other direction. That's pretty good. How does 2.5 feel? I think that's going to be just about where we want it. And I should say that this should all be a new piece so that I can just change the properties of that easier. But so far so good on this boy. I'm playing it a bit fast and loose with some features here, but I'm taking it somewhat seriously.
A Brennifer.
Take a little water break.
Me like him. A Brennifer. Ha ha ha.
Let's do some kind of color correction here before I move on to the next bits. So this part, and I think, oh, part 13 is just that tiny little thing. And then the other arm and the other shoulder. All of that should be the same color as the robe there. This part is pure gold. And then this, I'm going to make a little bit translucent there. Yeah, give it that kind of gem feel. There's some other faces and such, these planes, that I'll have to hide eventually. Just trying to clean things up a little bit as we go. Hide some of the sketches that are no longer in use. Okay. And the feet are kind of crossed here, which is going to be interesting. I want to offset this plane, bring it down to sort of leggy height. I'm trying to think about what would be the best way to get these kind of curved planes in here. I think I have an idea. I think I want to create a sketch on this plane. That is, not a center point. I just need something that goes through the center and has a little bit of an angle to it. And then both the legs are pretty much in contact the whole time. So I'm going to say, let's create 2 lines out. Let's make them equal to each other. It's maybe a little bit large. Whoa. What are you doing over there? Okay. The reason that I have this here will hopefully become apparent in a moment. I want to use that to create 2 different lines that these legs are going to follow. So I'm going to say that's good for that sketch. It's going to look real goofy. My apologies
Stream
for that.
Elements. Enjoying the stream? Don't forget to follow to catch me later. Subscribe if you are into that kind of thing.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna have to suppress the body here at some point. Which piece is the body? That's an arm. So the body should come before that. There we go. Okay. I actually don't need that to go that far. So let me bring it in. So I need to extrude just this center bit, just enough that I have this face that I can sketch on. And on that face, we're gonna have 2 different lines. One that's going kind of further back. And one that's going kind of further forward. Let's just see kind of how this works out. I want to be able to sweep this along one path. And I want to be able to bring that sketch back. Sweep this leg along the other path. It's not the best ever, but I think it's workable. And then I can do some like cuts and such to change the color of the like lower part of the legs there. Yeah, and they've both got goofy chunks taken out of them. Okay. So that remedied the weirdness with that one. Oh, this whole head is in the way. Okay, that remedied the weirdness with the other one. And now I can bring the body back. And the legs are actually kind of leggy. They're both gonna be the same kind of I guess really the same color as the heart on the chest. So I theoretically should make both of those a little bit bluer than they are. But then let's go ahead and cut out where the like boots are gonna be. Okay, we're making a sketch on the front plane. Maybe I actually want this to be on the side. I'm gonna create just the tiniest little rectangles. I want them to be very thin. Same deal here. And the reason that I've made these two very thin rectangles is I want to extrude symmetrically and remove both of these, with the merge scope being both of these legs, so that now these lower parts are their own pieces. Oh, interesting. Hold up. So I want those faces to not actually have a defined appearance. I want the materials to have a defined appearance. And they should be, well, no, I guess that's kind of the red I'm going for. And then both of these are going to be lighter. So that kind of gives us the boots that we wanted. Okay, so that's kind of the boy. I'm pleased with how much I got to use that sweep feature, because I think a lot of the stuff that we did here was going to be pretty difficult without it. But let's hide these extra planes. And let's see what this boy looks like without shaded edges. I think that does draw some attention away from these like super geometric shoulders I put on him. I do think that I would want to make the head and the hat much larger relative to the rest of the body. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with the couple beasts that we designed today. We designed Snoopin' and Springheel. I appreciate that streaming these things is letting me like practice with some new techniques as well. So, all good things.
Gigantier 56. Looks good.
Thank you.
A Brennifer. They look great.
Well, thanks. It's fun stuff to do. Let me, as we are wrapping up here,
very much like themselves,
scoop up a little creature, and we will say goodbye and good night. Let me find a baby.
56.
I think I'm gonna grab a dapper.
Makes you better when you
quick.
need to teach this.
I collected her from her slumber. This sweet little baby kitty right here. My goodness. Yeah.
A Brennifer. The
She's
Daphne.
caught on me a little bit.
A Brennifer. Beautiful girl.
Okay. Okay, little kitty. Yeah, this is a sweet dapper. Well, folks, tomorrow I think I'm probably going to stream some more of The Wandering Village, because I've just really been enjoying that game, and I want to play more of it. Okay, I'm going to let the dapper go. I'm going to scoop up the boy instead, because he's just right around the corner. There's a boy. He feels a lot better about being held. I'm gonna stream some more of The Wandering Village tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a good time. And I hope everyone has a good last little bit of the weekend here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out as I design some things. If anyone is listening here who is not yet a part of my Discord server, that's where I just announce the things that I'm going to be doing, and have lots of pictures of people's pets posted. So let me go ahead and
56.
get that on there.
Thanks. Great stream. Light_candle. Discord. Stream elements. Join Light Candle's Discord server.
Let that do its thing.
https://discord.gg/janeskSawim.
Okay. Well, everyone have a good evening. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow.
A Brennifer. See you tomorrow. A Brennifer. Good night all.